Morning guys, how's it going? James here from Audio.etc. Slightly interesting, kind of small wee job I got here for you guys today. We've got a 1982 Ford Capri and it's getting a security system. I don't really film the security system installs, but Grant's doing that, and I'm also doing a couple sets of speakers. He's totally happy with the JVC tape player / CD changer that he's got in there, so that's fine, each to their own, but I am replacing all the speakers. So in the front doors, we've got these, this is the factory 4x6 grill. I don't know if that's the factory speaker behind there, I don't think it is, because in the right hand side, he had this old school Rockford Fosgate one, and he came in looking for some new 4x6s, and we don't readily stock 4x6s, we can get them, but I suggested to him that he's probably going to get better sound out of some regular 6-inch speakers anyway. So that's my goal today, is to try and put some 6-inch speakers in there. And there's not a whole heap of depth in the front doors, because right behind that hole there, the window comes very close. Oh, we're going out of focus. So we're looking at putting some of the basic Pioneer 6-inch speakers in the front. And then hopefully to spruce up the bass a wee bit, or the mid bass, replace these old Sony Explodes that are in the back here with some Alpine Type R coaxials, just to get a wee bit more mid bass out of the car, because otherwise he's not going to be getting really much at all really. So yeah, I'm going to be tackling this front door first, I think. I want to see what I can fit in there. If I can get something better than the Pioneer TSG series speakers, I will, but those are like our go-to shallow mount speaker. The only other amazing shallow speaker I can think of that could go in there would be the Polk Ultra Slimline speakers that they make, but as of yet we can get Polk, so we've got a supplier who has it, but as of yet we haven't imported, gotten any in, and we haven't tried it. And also I know for a fact that those Slimline Ultra HD speakers are actually quite expensive, which, I mean, it makes sense. If they're good speakers and they're slim, then that's great, but we've never had a huge demand for high resolution speakers in a slimline format. So that's what I'm doing today. Pretty basic little job. Hope you enjoyed this video. First things first, let's get this door card off. I'm hoping it's just going to be Phillips screws all the way around. Looks like it, so there's two in the door here. And then, I like this black thing here. I've done something like this before, I just can't remember how it comes off. Oh, okay. Twist it down and it comes out. And for holding the speaker in, I just thought of something that might be an issue. Down quite far. I'll have to see what I can do, if I can actually get 6 of them. Oh wow, the speaker is mounted behind the door card, not on top of it. That's strange. I don't think I've seen that before. That would have been a bitch to get in. Window wander off. Won't put the window down. I suppose you know these just come off the same way most of them do, because this trim is separate.
Yeah, that slides.
It slides.
There you go.
What way did you go?
Oh, mine's already broken. It went forward.
Forward.
You lift the back out a little bit.
Lift the back out just a little bit.
Yeah, but be careful. These people who did this didn't lift it. They lifted it too far.
Lifting and pushing.
Yeah, but then again, oh, yeah, no, it would go that way.
Can you see the pieces it goes around?
That just sits resting there. Like that.
Came off. Didn't break, but it came off. Nasty little hooks. Let's see if I can pop this door card off without leaving all the clips stuck in the metal and all the wood breaking. There's a speed clip.
This here. Unless you own your own business and know what you're doing.
It comes off. So this speaker. Yeah, they run. I'll call this a grommet. This is how far down the window goes. Right there. And then that's how far down that thing goes. Depth-wise, there is stuff all. I need that much depth. And I need to, yeah, I was thinking I'd be able to have the 6-inch up here, but this thing's right in the way.
You have to cut it
Bugger. I told him I'd be able to do it without cutting metal.
No.
I wonder if I could put 5 1/4 there, do you think? And they need to be shallow. Yeah, could I get away with having... Do you think the grill would go under that handle, Grant? Okay, problem encountered. Because I don't want to cut down into the middle if I can help it. That means I have to...
Here too, eh?
Huh?
It's quite
Yeah, that's...
for
Yeah.
that.
6x4. And I told them there'd still be a crease from the original grill. Because that's 6 inch there, like... Yeah, it's gonna go way down. I don't like this already. Okay, so slight change of plan. I have a new plan now for the speakers, what I'm going to do. So in the front, those 6 inches I discovered weren't going to fit, just height-wise, because of how far down this window winder handle goes. And if I could put a 6 inch all the way down here, but I really wanted to avoid cutting any of this metal if I can. And so I think I'm just going to go with the original plan that the customer had, which was put 4x6s in, since that is what was in there to begin with. So I've ordered on an overnight courier, because this is staying overnight, I've ordered some Rockford Fosgate punch 4x6s, the P1462. We've done them before, we know they sound good, and they're shallow enough that they'll fit in there. So that's what's going in the front. I've run new wires, because the speaker wires that were in there were pretty manky, and we're putting central locking in as well, so I figured this would be a good opportunity to replace the wiring. So I replaced it all with some 5-core trailer cable, got a little pigtail coming out for the speaker wires out of the core, and then the rest of the trailer cable comes down to the end here, which is where the door motors are going to be. So I've done that on both sides, ready for Grant to install the door motors. Hooked up the piece of trailer cable to the factory speaker wires inside here. Grant can choose whichever wires he wants for his door motors, that way he knows what colours he's doing. And then in the back, the Type R's unfortunately weren't going to work. The back is just going to be like, I'm not going to be hugely proud of my install with this, guys, but it is what it is. Because here's the left hand side. It's not overly bad, you can tell that they've chain drilled the hole, and it's on like a curve rather than being flat, so there's going to be like a hole under some of the speaker. But what fits in the Type R's don't fit in there, even the new ones which have a smaller basket, they just don't fit because they're a 6.5. But the Rockford Fosgate Punch 1.6s do fit. So that, and they're a relatively similar price, that does fit in there. And it just fits on the other side as well, which I'll show you in a second. So I thought it made sense, since I knew the Rockford Fosgate Punch 4x6s fit in the front. What if I put the 6-inch punch speakers in the back? That way it's the same speakers all around. It's a bonus because it's all the same speaker. So punch P16s in the back, P1462 in the front. And here's the right hand side, guys. Yeah, it's pretty manky. You can see they started chain drilling there, and then they decided, no, we'll move it up because there was all that metal in the way. Look at this though. Ow. And then there's a, is it the fuel cap? Yep, fuel cap right there. It does fit, I have test fitted it. So you can see that hole on the side there is what I was talking about, how it's not a flat surface. But I can't do anything about that, unfortunately, because they just decided to put it on a non-flat surface, and I want to fill the hole with something, so that's what I'm doing. I'm just going to have to screw it in like this. But it does fit. But what I think I'll do before I do that is I think I will get the power file out and just file down this nasty piece here, because that's real manky and nasty. So yeah, that's the plan. 4x6s are coming overnight. I've done the wiring for them already, so I'm going to move on to the back speakers now and get them mounted up. And the wiring I'm going to shorten as well, because I don't need that much wiring. And also because these crimps don't go on the punch speakers. The Rockford Fosgate Punchers decided to use one of the wide flat blade crimps, and then one of the wider. So it's confusing. Like I don't know the millimeters of these, but basically they got two wide blade terminals, different sizes, as opposed to having one of the negative ones. The terminal on this wire, which is the positive, would actually fit on the negative of that speaker. So I'm gonna have to put new crimps on those, but that's not a big deal. So yeah, ticking along. Okay, there we go. Just power filed out some sections of metal and smoothed off the plastic a wee bit because the plastic was real knobbly since it was cut with it was chain drilled. And then I filed off some of this metal here, large portion of the metal here and up here, and the same on this side. Now that great big piece of metal which was just cutting straight across here is gone. Smoothed out that all as best as I could, and now the speakers fit in there way better. I noticed the speaker fits better on the right hand side because they managed to make the hole up a wee bit higher where the plastic is just a wee bit flatter, whereas on this side they put it down a bit lower, and so this is much more curved and there's a bigger gap at the sides, but what can you do? I didn't put those holes there. So I'll just mark some holes to put screws through and whack them in. I'm gonna put one at the top and bottom, screw the speaker in, and then I'll have to do the four corners with the grill because I was thinking I'd like to put the screws at the top two corners of these sections here since it's kind of more in line there or more flat, but then I remembered that the holes when you put the grill on are kind of set dead in the middle of here, so I don't really have a choice in that aspect, so these two will just hold it in place while I get the grill on. Just make sure I can definitely see where I'm putting my holes. One there, and one there. Let's get my drill. And unfortunately, we don't really have any thick foam I can put in between the speaker and the panel to kind of seal it up, but this one can go through the middle. There we go. That way at least the two main screws, well not main screws, but the two first screws that are holding it in are going through metal and will hopefully be quite secure. So for that I'm going to want to use some of the big long ones. Okay, before I do anything more I've got to remember to put some crimps on, so let's just cut this off around about here. Fat one goes on the positive and the positive speaker terminal goes on the negative because Rockford. And that one. Now, let me just have a look and see if there's anything I can do to, how much foam would I have to put in? Oh, I'd have to put in a lot of foam to fill in that gap. I wonder if it's worth it. Okay, I found some foam that I was able to put around it. It's, we've just got some, just the odd one of these here or there lying around, and this is that stuff that I put on the front of my speakers in my car to try and seal it to the door card a wee bit better, since we don't really have fast rings here. But I'm hoping this height will be enough to kind of seal it just to the plastic, and to be honest it's more just to make it kind of look a bit better than actual improve the sound quality, because I just really don't like when you have a speaker and something you can like kind of get your finger under it, you know, and you can see the gap there. So hopefully this will kind of just, I don't know, I'm just trying things. Let's plug this on. Oh, it's going. Grant must have the stereo on. No, it's all good, no problem. And then if I push that in there, oh yeah, that kind of like seals it up a bit. Yeah, pretty good. Yeah, that'll work. Let's get a screw. I think I might try and get this one lined up in the metal to begin with. Is that working? Oh yeah, that's going into the metal. Cool. Now it's got to somehow get this to go into the metal. Hopefully it's lined up. So now those two screws, they're going through metal, and I'm quite happy with the security of that speaker, not going anywhere. And yeah, that foam stuff has actually worked pretty well. As you can see, it's that gap in there that I was just trying to seal up. Because otherwise there's going to be a great big shadowy hole in there and it just will look ugly. So that's alright. It was like that. Oh, okay, and that rotates in it. That's interesting. That there is probably the most up and down actually. I think I'm probably going to have to drill these one at a time and put a screw in straight after. Oh, I see what the problem is. It's lining right up with a angled piece of metal, making it impossible to drill. Okay, there we go, I got it guys. These two are going through metal as well. I ended up having to swap out my drill bit because mine was blunt. And just all because the metal is in here is on an angle and the drill bit wants to skate around and shit. Just what you gotta do when you're fitting speakers to locations that aren't ideal for speakers. But there we go, it's not going anywhere, that's the best I can do. And yes, there is a big gap down the side, but again, I didn't put the hole there. I did the best I could with what has been presented to me. So that's one done. On to the next one. I feel like this one might be a wee bit easier, I'm not sure. Next one. Positive, cool beans. Looks like I can use that existing hole that they've already drilled there. Okay, so yeah, as I expected, this one doesn't go through metal. This one up here will, because they've drilled this hole higher up on this side. Downside is that the bottom screw doesn't go through metal. Upside is that it's a flatter surface, but there is metal all the way around here, so it looks like I should be able to get this screw, and this screw into metal, but just not the bottom one, the bottom right, or the top right, and probably, yeah, or the top right. So this whole side will be secured strongly, and that side will just be secured to the plastic. So let's just follow this through to the metal to begin with. It's a cool sounding bike. Damn, the metal in this car is pretty strong. It's thick. It's like not like, you know, what things were like in the old days. They used more metal in their thicknesses for everything. Quite thick. Alrighty, let's put that foam stuff on the back of the speaker. There we go, foam on the back. I need to figure out what screws I'm using. Frickin' terminals, which is good and annoying, because it makes it harder to get the crimps on, which also means they're harder to get off. Gotta wriggle it on. Oh fuck, that's not going. Okay, there we go. That speaker also not going anywhere. Just check they're both working.
It's old junk, still rock and roll to me.
Yep, they're both working. Sounds a wee bit funny in the boot. I don't think that's because they're out of phase. I think that's just to do with the fact that they've got the speakers both facing directly at each other. And when you do that, it can result in like kind of a standing wave at just certain points where the waves meet up with one another in the middle. And that's just another good reason not to put speakers facing each other. But that's good, they're working. I believe they're in phase because they are making bass, but as you move your head like left to right, that's how it sounds weird. Actually, I should rephrase that because I know people are getting nitpicky now about the difference between phase and polarity. They are the same polarity as one another, they're both firing into the vehicle, but the phasing issue is what's happening where the waves are lining up with one another and cancelling out. But that's good. That's as good as I can get them looking. And at least they're both black and they kind of blend into the boot a bit better than those ugly Sonys did. So cool. Okay, so back ones are done, looking good. Nice. Moving on to some more stuff for the front ones. I've got a wee bit of a plan together for how I'm going to mount it, because you guys know I am always a wee bit precious about how I mount my speakers. I don't like mounting them to old wooden door cards, I like mounting them to metal. So I've found these things. We don't even know what they're for, but we've got heaps of them lying around from when we used to do heaps of old cars. And yeah, this pretty much there in some which way. Even though this isn't a 6x4 hole, it's like for a 5 1/4 inch or something like that. I'm gonna just get this mounted in place, put the door card back on, draw the rest of the 6x4 hole out, cut it out with the jigsaw, and basically all this is gonna do is give me a bit more meat to bolt the speaker to when I put it through. The speaker is going to have to mount to the outside of the door card, I believe, in order to be enough depth for it to mount in and not hit the window, but we'll see. And I like to have it mounted to some metal. So I'm probably going to put this either in front of here or in behind here. Behind is easier, because then I can just use these holes which are already here. And unfortunately we don't have any just plain sheets of uncut tin like this, or aluminium. I don't even know, like this must be galvanized aluminium, I think, from the look of the back of it. Because it's like, huh? It's steel. Oh, okay. It feels lightweight. Oh well. Jigsaw will go through it though. Just maybe not tin snips. So I'm thinking I could probably mount this in behind here like that. And then just dot my holes with my Vivid, drill them out, and then I can just put some self-tappers through here and into that to hold it in. but I want to make sure I get this in an ideal position, because I've worked out from looking at the door card over there that the center of the 4x6 hole is directly down from this, but across about 1 centimeter. So it's pretty much directly down from the screw here. So I want this to be as central to that as possible, so I've got more chance of the screws meeting some metal. So I think I want to have this around this way, because this has a more metally, more meaty side. So I think if and as much as I would like to slide this over so that that hole gets covered up, that kind of offsets it a wee bit. So I'm going to have it over it has to be just far enough along for some holes to line up with that, and that's the end there. So that's pretty much where it's going to go. But vertically, wonder how high I go. Top, from looking at the door card, the top of the 6x4 hole is pretty much directly in line with this pop hole. So would that mean that this is about the middle? Probably, no, a bit lower. I just want to get the best chance of getting this centered, you know? Getting this hole centered in the hole that's already in the door card for the 4x6. I think I might need to, do this in a few more steps rather than just going for it. Let's take this off. That the metal is like right here at the bottom of this, whereas the top of it is more like way up here. So I need to mark around here with the vivid where the center horizontal point is, which is about there, approximately there. Make a dot, yep. Okay, cool, now I can take this back off. So now I can draw myself across here. There, and so my center hole of the hole is right about here, I would say. So now what I need to do is put this in here and line it up like so, so that the center of this hole is around about here, which is going to be way off, so that's not going to be possible. I wonder if I'd be better off putting it like this. Problem with that though is that I haven't got any nice places like this to drill into on the other side. This would be so much easier if I had just a big one of these. Lowest I can get, the best place I can get it would be about there. That's as far right and as far down as it can go. Oh, damn it, it moved. That puts the center of the 6x4 hole about there, which I should be able to get 1, 2, 3 screws into the metal, but probably not the 4th one. I'm just going to quickly check our workshop and make sure we don't have any more of this kind of stuff, because it would be good, but I don't think we've got any more. 1 second. Yeah, no, I just had a look around and I can't find any more bigger things than these. So, but just thinking about it, like, it's really probably not that big of a deal. They are only 4x6 inch speakers, so not having the 4th screw into metal really isn't going to be the end of the world. So I'll just get as close as I can, and what I'm going to do is have this behind here. I'm going to go through the existing holes, PK them into this. I will use some thin foam tape around the border of this to isolate this from this to prevent rattle, and then screws in the speakers will just squish it all up and sandwich it, sort of deal. So I'm just going to go for this. What I need to do is have it as far right and as far down as possible. So I'm going to start with this corner up here and just get that up enough and across enough to be there, and then that is that hole. And then the top right one needs to be just up enough here. And that's where my hole's going to be, that one there. Whoops. And that one there. Okay, and that's where my 4 holes are. I'll just quickly drill these out. Okay, got some holes drilled. Now I just need to put some foam tape on either the back side of this or on the front side of this. Okay, there we go. Got that like foam taped up quite a bit. More than it needs to be, but what the hell, right? So now I've got 4 of these tiny little blind self-tapping screws with have no point on the end, which are going to go through these holes and into these ones. So let's try this. And tighten that bad boy up. Cool. It's 1 through here and start threading in. Just wants to put up a fight. We just get a screw. 1. Cool. Alrighty. Tighten that up. Sweet as. Cut off this excess foam tape because really I don't need it. Oh, but who knew it stuck so well? I didn't think it was that sticky, it should just peel off. There we go. So that is good. Not going anywhere, let's put the door card back on. Okay, so now I can see, oh sweet, I'm gonna get all 4 screws in the middle. Bang, 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 bang. Let's just line up a couple of pops. 1, 2. Sweet as. Now we just need to draw an outline of the hole. Some dots where the screw holes will likely go. Cool beans. Now I really don't think I'm going to have to file this section here down because the other Rockford Fosgate 4x6s that were in here fit perfectly fine. In fact, oh my god, I may not even have to cut that because that pretty much goes the whole way in. That would be cool if I didn't have to cut it. If the Rockford Fosgate 4x6s didn't have like a great big basket. That'd be sweet. Oh no, it does hit, look at that. It just slides back and forth a wee bit. So I do need to cut some of it out. So I'll do that with the jigsaw. Just need to cut that out. Sweet as. Alright, I'm just gonna jigsaw this out with it in the door. That way I don't have to take it all in and out and stuff. Shouldn't be too hard. One piece. Damn, Grant was right, this shit is tough. Dang steel. Alright, power file next. There we go. Done. Smoothed it off. That's good. I'm not going to drill the mounting holes yet because I don't know if the Rockford Fosgate mounting holes are going to be exactly in those spots, so I'll draw those when I'm putting it in. But that's good. That should line up with the hole that's already on the door card now. And we should be sweet. And there we go. There's the driver's side done as well. The only thing I didn't do this time was mark where the screw holes are going to be because I figured I'll end up marking them when I put the new speakers in anyway. So that's everything for me done on this car for today. I would put the door cards back on and get them ready for that, but I can't yet because Grant's still doing door motors in them for the central locking. So yeah, that's all I'm doing for this car today, guys. I will catch up with you tomorrow when I'm about ready to fit the 6x4s through the doors and into that. Catch you then.
Tomorrow.
Okay guys, it's like 4:30 in the afternoon and the speakers still haven't turned up. What can I say? Bloody couriers. Can't be bothered. It definitely left Auckland on an overnight ticket. I know that much. It's in Christchurch, but the courier just probably saw it and thought, oh, I'll do that tomorrow. I'm sure it won't be affecting anyone. But anyway, yeah, sorry. I don't know what's going to happen with this at this point, so probably not going to be getting front speakers. On a positive note, since yesterday, the Jaguar has booked in for the 26th. So I'm probably going to have that car like the whole week, hopefully, and I'm going to be installing heaps of stuff. Type X components in the front, coaxes in the back, 2 PDX amplifiers which he already owns, Alpine CDE 163 EBT in the front, and either a slimline 12-inch Type R sub if we can get one, because apparently our suppliers don't get them anymore and they just decided not to tell us. So either that, or if we can't get one of those, then I'm going to instead put in this Pioneer IB flat 12-inch sub, which is almost as powerful. It can handle 1500 watts, and it should do just as good of a job in a slim box. So that's the plan with that. Anyway, yeah, hopefully we'll see what happens with these speakers in this thing. Yeah. Okay guys, home time. Yeah, no, unfortunately the speakers did not turn up. I got a call from our supplier who was chasing up the courier about it, and as per usual with that particular courier, they obviously just couldn't be bothered bringing it out to us because it's still at the depot, and it was there this morning. So yeah, unfortunately the 6x4s didn't go in the car today. It's explained the situation to the customer. He's going to come back tomorrow to have those installed because the speakers should be getting here tomorrow morning, hopefully. So sorry, didn't get to put the 4x6s in today. If you really want to see what, them in and what they're looking like, one last look at the car, make sure you check out my video tomorrow because I will film it. Tomorrow I have a job with a X-Trail doing 3 cameras and a camera switching box for an Alpine ILX 702, so make sure you check that out, and I'll recap on the Capri as well. Otherwise, thank you guys for watching today's video. Hope you've enjoyed it. Sorry, I'm just doing the close up. Choose to be happy, and I will catch you tomorrow. Kite Ano.
Tomorrow for sure.